Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The greatness of a teacher is he is able to communicate what is most impossible to communicate. Therefore, in our Kathopanishad, if you remember, Yamraj tells Nachiket, Ascharyo Vakta Kushalosya Labdha, Ascharyo Jnata Kushala Anushishtaha. It is really a great wonder that the teacher can communicate without creating confusion in the mind of the listener. Here is this example. In this fourth chapter of Gita, the emphasis, and for that purpose throughout the whole Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad, emphasis is unless we correct our identity crisis, whatever we may do, it is just a wastage. And therefore, to bring to our notice that unless we know our essential identity, we are no more progressing in any direction. Now, where we are caught up, we as individuals or we as Jiva are caught up in the activities, and those activities are either worldly activities, laukik, or the other worldly activities, the scriptural or the religious activities. And therefore it is easier for us to understand to do something. This is how it happens. When somebody comes and asks us a question, Swamiji, please tell us some spiritual practice, what should we do? And if you tell them that you just be happy, they feel this is some kind of brushing away. So they want something to be done. Then you tell them, okay, what is today? Today is Monday. Very good day. You ask a question on right day. Now observe fast for 16 Mondays. On the fast day, what can I eat? The first question. Now, when this kind of student is, do you think you can talk to him about Brahma and all that? So you tell him, what you are? You are a South Indian, yes. You can eat anything except cooked rice. That's good. And then what I should do, you complete those 16 and on the 17th then go to the temple, do puja and give some dakshina to the Panditji. So he feels now I am doing spiritual practice. Here also the vision given is Brahma Arpanam Brahmahavi Brahma Agnau Brahmana Hutam Brahmaivatena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. So this is very difficult for an average person to comprehend. But this is the thing that is required to be known. Whether it is difficult or not, that is not the option. There is no option but to know yourself. And therefore, what are the common practices under the title of spirituality or religion? They are taken for discussion. And when they are discussed, then we understand, now some spiritual part is going on. So after he will enumerate a dozen of them, and then he will say, all these things are included in the Brahma Jnanam. See, like we have seen in the second chapter, that Yavan artha udapane sarvatas samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. Did we see that? Yes, we have seen. In this Bhagavad Gita only, nowhere else. So, this approach is presented in Bhagavad Gita. तत्र अधुना सम्यक दर्शनस्य यज्ञत्व संपाद्य तत्स्तुत्यर्थम अन्ये अपि यज्ञा उपक्षिप्यन्ते दैवम एवं इत्यादिना. So what is established by अधुना सम्यक दर्शनस्य यज्ञत्वम संपाद्य means what? Recognition of yourself with the right understanding is called as yajna. Then it is good. See? That is why the more you study Bhagavan Shankaracharya, the more joy comes from within. Because he doesn't beat around the bush. He comes straight away to the point. So, aduna samyak darshanasya yajnatvam sampadya tat stutyartham अन्ये अपि यज्ञा उपक्षिप्यन्ते. And to prove, establish ultimately, that is jnana yajna is the ultimate. And therefore he has to put forward all other kinds of yajnas and then come to the conclusion all these yajnas are dependent on something outside. Dependence is bondage, independence is freedom. And for this purpose he begins from the 25th verse. Daivameva pare yajnam yogina paryupasate brahmagnava pare yajnam yajne naivopajuhati. There are two yajnas given here. First yajna. Daivam eva deva ijjante yena yajnena asau devo yajnaha. So that propitiation by which the various divine powers are invoked, that is called as Daiva Yajna or the Deva Yajna. So Deva ijjante yena yajnena asau devo yajnaha tam eva, to that Deva Yajna apare yajnam yoginaha karminaha paryupasate kurvanti ityarthaha. So some type of seekers, they keep themselves busy in propitiation of the various gods and the powers through these Daiva or the Deva Yajna. Now see the examples we see. Our Dashrathji Maharaj had a problem because he didn't have children. Then he had a problem because he had children. See? Our Panchadashi very beautifully says, even Bhagavad Mahapurana, the same topic comes. Now you are miserable because you don't have children. Afterwards you will be miserable because you have children. Common point, you are bound to be miserable, whichever way you go. So here also, Dashrathji Maharaj didn't have children, so he has done the yajna. And in that yajna, the yajna Purush was propitiated. This is called as Daiva Yajna or the Deva Yajna. So Devam eva apare yajnam yoginaha paryupasate. This is one kind of yajna. Now Brahmagna, second is Brahmagna vapare yajnam. What is the Brahmagni? Or in the Brahmagni, therefore Brahmagna. Which is the Brahmagna case? Seventh case. So Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, Vijnanam Anandam Brahma, Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma, Ya Atma Sarvantaraha. Three quotations from the Upanishads are given. This is the Brahma Yajna. What is the Brahma Yajna? Brahma Agni, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Now this is the fire. That Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That which is Sat itself is Chit, and together are called as Ananta, infinite Ananda. This is Brahma. Further, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman So Oshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha. So he who has recognized this Parabrahma Paramatma as his own being, Saha Sarvan Kaman Saha Ashnute. He will fulfill all his desires simultaneously. Means what? Means you have a desire, I wish I have a nice son, and then he is very highly educated, and then he gets married, and then he has children. All these desires will be instantaneously fulfilled. He will be suddenly born, suddenly grows, suddenly educated, suddenly married. See? Saha, together. Now, second is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Vijnanamanandam Brahma. The conscious bliss is Brahman. Therefore, go to the 11th chapter of Panchadashi. Have you studied that? Not yet, no? Okay. So, Vijnanamanandam Brahma. The conscious bliss is Brahman. Contemplate on that. Again, Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma Ya Atma Sarvantaraha. That which is the immediate self. Sarvantaraha, which is the core of everything and being. Now these are the three quotations. Brahmagno. Ityadi Vachanoktam. So what is mentioned by these statements as Brahman? What is that? Ityadi Vachanoktam. Ashanayadi Sarva Samsara Dharma Varjitam. Where all the problems of Shadurmis. See, Ashanaya Pipasadi, by this what is meant is that the Shadurmis, which are the Shadurmis? The 6 problems. The Jara Mrityu for the gross body. Then Ashana Pipasa for the Prana. And Shoka Moha for the mind. So these 6 problems are totally absent. Therefore, Ashanayadi Sarva Samsara Dharma Varjitam. And Neti Neti Iti Nirasta Shesh Ashesha Vishesham. And that which is indicated by rejecting all the specialities. Nirasta Ashesha Vishesham. So it is the absolute common. See, the common denominator. Now we are all specialized. Man, woman, young, old, educated, uneducated, beautiful, awful. See? So many specialities. But there is a common denominator which is supporting everything. And therefore, neti neti iti vakyataha, by the statements of negation of all the specificities associated with the existence. Neti neti iti nirasta ashesha vishesham brahma shabdena uchyate. This is what is meant by the word Brahman. See, in this Brahmagnau, in this Brahman, apare yajnam yajnena upajavati. See how each and every word is taken into consideration clearly. So what was the first yajna? That some of the people, they invoke the various divine powers by doing the Deva Yajna, is called as, they are the doers, Karminaha, so they do this kind of Yajna. Now there are second type of people who, this is called as Brahma Agni, Brahmagnau. Now Yajnam, what is the meaning of Yajnam here? The first Brahma is again explained. Brahmacha tad agnihi. So Brahma itself is the fire. So Brahmacha tad agnihi. Cha sa homadhi karanatva vivakshaya brahmagnihi. So in a homa, in the fire, where all the offerings are offered, now that fire is called as the Brahman. Now tasmin brahmagnau, in that Brahman, apare anne brahmavidaha, other knowers of the Brahman, what they do? Yajnam upajuvati. Now what is the meaning of yajna? Here yajnam, yajna shabda vacha atma. Atma namasu yajna shabdasya pathat. The word yajna means Atma, the Jivatma, the individual self. Because yajna shabdavachya Atma, Atma namasu yajna shabdasya. Because in the traditional vocabulary, this yajna shabda is referred to indicate the individual self. So, yajnasya pathat tam atmanam yajnam. That jivatma, that individual self, who is paramarthataha parameva brahmam. See? The jivatma is paramarthataha essentially parabrahma. So, paramarthataha param eva brahma santam buddhyadi upadi sanyuktam. But this parabrahma paramatma, with the limitation of the conditioning of the intellect, etc., adhyastha sarva upadhi dharmakam. And therefore all the limitations of the conditionings are superimposed on this infinite Brahman, the self, ahuti rupam. So all these conditionings are offered in this Brahma Jnanam. Means what? At this moment, I am body, I am prana, I am mind, I am the Jivatma, etc. Now all these conditioned expressions will be washed away if all the conditionings are offered into the reality. So, adhyastha sarva upadhi dharmakam ahuti rupam. So this jiva bhava is offered as the offerings yajnena eva, by the process of yajna. So atmana eva ukta lakshanena upajivati prakshipanti. In this manner, what is the complete meaning therefore? Sopadhikasya atmanaha nirupadhikena parabrahma swarupena eva yad darshanam satasmin homaha. See? Recognition of the conditioned self as unconditioned absolute reality. Recognition of the Jivatma as essentially to be Paramatma. This itself is called as the Homaha. This itself is called as the fire of knowledge or the yajna, where everything is being offered. Tam kurvanti, that is being done by some people. Who are they? Brahmatmaikatva darshan nishtha sannyasinaha ityartha. So there are two types of yajnas referred in this 25th verse. First is Daiva Yajna or Deva Yajna, and second is the Brahma Yajna. In the Deva Yajna, the otherness of the divine power in a particular faculty is invoked through karma. And here, the same Parabrahma Paramatma is recognized as one's own essential self by the study, the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, and thereby coming to the recognition that Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam. He who has recognized that the substratum of all the conditioning is but one reality, and that reality is my essential nature and not the conditioned expression of the reality. This is called as Brahmatmaikatva Darshana Nishtha Sannyasinaha. So these are the people who do this Brahma Yajna. Now, there is another type of yajnas, 26th verse, the teacher will tell us. Sahayam samyak darshana lakshano yajna deva yajnadishu yajneshu upakshipyante brahmarpanam ityadi shlokaihi shreyan dravyamaya yajna jnana yajna parantapa ityadina stutyartham. Now, ultimately, what is the goal that Bhagavad Sri Krishna is wanting to establish? To tell that dravyamaya yajna jnana yajnaha shreyan, in comparison to the offerings through objects or the activities. The real offering is offering of your wrong notion about yourself and come to recognize your essential self. This is far superior. To come to this point, Bhagavan is starting this theme from the Brahmarpanam. And in this Brahmarpana Yajna, both this Yajna, Deva Yajna, and the second Yajna Brahmagno, everything is included. There is nothing left behind. So which are those nothing? Which are the other possible yajnas which are practiced by the seekers to know the truth, to realize the God, to have liberation, moksha, nirvana? Which are those? They are now being said subsequently. Shrotraadinindriyanyanne Sayyamagnishu juhvati Shabdadin vishayananye Indriyagnishu juhvati. Now remember the Sandhi rule there in the second line. Shabdadin vishayananya. A is followed by the vowel. Therefore it has become, A has become what? Aya. And the ya is dropped. Therefore it has become Indriyan vishayananya. It should be anye. Okay. Now, anye, some type of seekers, what they do? Shrotradini indriyani anye yoginaha, other yogis, all the senses such as the ears, etc., sayyamagnishu, prati indriyam sayyamaha vidyate iti bahuvachanam. See how such a small point is important for him. Agnishu. See why there is a plural? Because the Sayyamaha prati indriyam vidyate. The meaning of control for every sense organ is different. And therefore, the control of every organ is different. Therefore, bahuvachanam sayyamagnishu. Meaning, there are some yogis who are controlling their senses under the influence of sayyama. So there, sayyama, absolute control is the fire. In that absolute control, all the faculties are offered as offering. Means sayyama eva agnayaha. Teshu juvati. Meaning, indriya sayyamam eva kurvanti ityarthaha. So what is one kind of yajna? The yogis, for them the yajna is controlling the senses. Tasmatvam indriyanyadau niyamya bhartarshabha papmanam prajahiyena jnana vijnana nashanam. Don't ask where from it has come. I can hear every thought of yours. I am going to ask. So yoginaha indriya sayyamam eva kurvanti. This is the yajna for them. Now there are another type of yogi. Who are they? Shabdadin vishayan anne indriyagnishu juvati. Indriyani eva agnayaha. Now see, earlier what was said? Sayyama, complete control is the fire, in which all the senses are offered, means indriya sayyamanam kurvanti. They are controlling all the senses. Now second, Shabdadin vishayan anne indriyagnishu juvati means what? Indriyani eva agnayaha. So all the senses are the fire. Teshu indriyagnishu juvati shrotradivihi aviruddha vishaya grahanam homam manyante. So they will enjoy all those objects which are accepted according to the scriptural injunctions. That is called as the Shabdadin Vishayan Anne Indriyagnishu Juvati. That means their life is extremely self-disciplined. No, I don't take a food from everybody's hand. Then I am a Swayempaki. So what do? Give me everything properly done, and then I will prepare myself and eat. Now this is very difficult. It's not so simple. By that they acquire extreme control. There are people who are very strict about their food. There are people who do not go and take food from those houses where ladies do not observe their, this menses period separation. Strictly, they don't go to that house. I have seen one Mahatma who told me long time back in 70s or 80s. He used to go to one of my friend's place and he wanted to give me some, he said, I can give you some knowledge. I have got, this diabetic control, cancer control. I want to give it to you. I said, I'll tell you later. Now I am very busy. So that person whose place he was going, their house was very orthodox. Brahmin family, extremely orthodox. So he was telling me, Swamiji, this Mahatmaji who comes, he doesn't go to anybody's house. If he comes here, only in our house, and he takes food only if my wife cooks, but nobody else. I said, why? He said, no, there are rules and regulations. I just don't go to any place and all that. This is called as Shabdadin Vishayan Indriya Agnishi Juvati Aviruddha Vishaya Grahanam Homam Manyante. So they consider that self-discipline and leading life according strictly the scriptural injunction is the yajna. Now further, Sarvani Indriya Karmani Prana Karmani Chapare Atma Sayyama Yogagnau Juvati Jnana Deepite. Now there are few more yajnas. Sarvani Indriya Karmani Indriyanam Karmani Indriya Karmani. All the activities of all the senses or the organs of action. Sarvani Indriyanam Karmani Indriya Karmani. Tatha Prana Karmani. What is the prana karma? Pranaha vayuhu adhyatmikaha tad karmani. What is the karma of the breathing air? It is akunchana prasarana adini tani. So there are some type of people who atma sayyama agni, who have absolute control over the operation of all the faculties as well as all the pranas. So they practice the pranayama or the kriya yoga. So pranavayu adhyatmikaha tattar karmani akunchana prasaranadini tanicha apare atma sayyama yogagno atmani sayyamaha atma sayyamaha. So eva yogagni tasmin atma sayyama yogagno juvati prakshipanti Jnana Deepite Snehena iva pradipate Viveka Vijnanena Ujjvala Bhavam Apadite Pravilapayanti Ityartaha. Like in the fire, in a fire which is lit, so all that which is offered in that is burnt away. That means it is no more able to be a problem. It is reduced to the non-functional status. In the same manner, by the Atma Sayyama Yoga Agni, by absolute perfect control on yourself. Here Atma Sayyama therefore means what? The Sayyama of Patanjali Maharshi. Trayamekatra Bandaha, Trayamekatra Sayyamaha. So these three things, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, put together is called as Sayyama. Now this Sayyama is mentioned here. So under the influence of this Sayyama, under the shelter of this Sayyama, in the fire of this Sayyama, all the senses, their actions, the pranas, etc., they are completely controlled, like when the ghee or something is offered in the lamp, it is burnt away in the same manner. That means faculties will be there, but they will no more be able to be a problem. It is something like, there are two aspects of our senses of the mind. One aspect is they illuminate what is what. Second aspect is we become the slave of those faculties. So the slave aspect of the faculties will be destroyed. But other aspect, the illumination aspect of the faculties remains intact. This is another type of yajna conducted by some yogis. Now continuing further yajnas, dravya yajnas tapo yajnaha, yoga yajna tatha pare, swadhyaya jnana yajnascha, yatayas samshitavrataha. Now there are another type of people who are engaged in different kinds of yajnas. Which are those yajnas and which are those people? So the first, dravya yajnaha. See, this dravya yajnaha is a plural of dravya yajna, like Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. So these are the people, dravya yajnaha. Who are those? Tirtheshu dravya viniyogam yajna buddhya kurvanti ye te dravya yajnaha. Which is this samas? Say loudly. Huh? I should be there, you know it, you know. Samas you have studied or not? Then what is this samas? Tatpurush. Anyway, you go and check, I will not tell. So, tirtheshu dravya viniyogam yajna buddhya ye kurvanti te. Those who are offering charity in the holy places by way of giving the money or by constructing the steps in the river or by giving food or by distributing the saris and killing the people or by distribution of the blankets. See, this is called as dravya yajna. That means that yajna where some things are offered as charity for the benefit of the people. They are called as dravya yajnaha. Now, second thing, tapo yajnaha. Who are these tapo yajna people? Ye tapasvinaha te tapo yajnaha. Now, therefore, what will be the tapo yajnaha? So, tapo yajnaha will be those who are practicing a lot of austerities. And by that austerities, what happens? You attain control. You become more and more purified. And you become so much purified that you cannot tolerate anybody. See? And then you see all these tapasvis become very angry kind of people, you know. They will immediately curse somebody. One person, you know, one Swamiji in Delhi, whereas going for my lectures, I left Delhi, so he was introduced. I went with him. And then next day onwards, he was supposed to go. He went there for 1 or 2 lectures. Then all the ladies, devotees, Punjabis, revolted. We don't want you, don't come from tomorrow. You can imagine what must be the condition of those ladies who could say, elderly ladies. They refused this, you don't come from tomorrow, we don't want to listen to you. After 1 year or so, when I went, again I went to the same temple to meet my old ladies. I said, Amma, how are your things going on? No, Swamiji. We told that, Swamiji, don't come. We don't want you. I said, why? What happened? What happened? When our satsang was going on, somebody's driver came for something for few seconds. Before he could talk, this Swami blasted, anger. Why you have come in between? And have you brought the death news of anybody or what? It is so urgent. Kaun mar gaya? He was a Punjabi, that Swami. Kaun mar gaya? So imagine sitting on a Vyasapit and using this kind of language. Tapasvinaha. Therefore, anger is bound to be when we are functioning under too much of strictness of life. Life must flow. He should not become angry. So, tapojajnaha ye tapasvinaha te tapojajnaha. Now by this tapasya what happens? Your willpower increases. And when your willpower increases, you can do anything. But by getting success in the outer world, you are destroying the inner beauty. That we forget. See? You know why the people are afraid of these great tapasvis? Because they have got that power. They can curse you, they can bless you. But as regards their own life is concerned, they are totally destroyed inside. So, tapo yajnaha. Then, yoga yajnaha. Who are the yoga yajnaha? Pranayama, pratyaharadi, lakshanaha, yogaha. So, they are doing the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara. That means hatha yogi. Here, the remaining three is not told. It is not Raja Yoga. Otherwise, he would have also included the last three, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So, pranayam, pratyahara, that means only up to the hatha yoga. So, they are the yoga yajna. Tesham ye te yoga yajna. Now, tatha apare, and yet there are another type of yogis or the yajnikas. Who are they? Swadhyaya jnana yajnaha. So, swadhyayo yatha vidhi rugadi abhyasaha yajnaha. So, those who study the Vedas, Rigveda, etc., yatha vidhi, according to the tradition, going to the Gurukul and learning the Ghanapat and listening and chanting, everything. I don't know whether you have heard or not. In Ghanapat, they repeat the same word again and again, Om tassavitur 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 Om 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 tassavitur tassavitur Varenyam bhargo 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 Varenyam varenyam bhargo. You feel as if they have forgotten. This is how that Ghanapat is there, and they are here mentioned as Swadhyaya Yajnaha. So, Swadhyayo yatha vidhi rugadi bhyasaha yajnaha. Yesham te Swadhyaya Yajnaha. And Jnana Yajnaha, Jnanam Shastra Artha Parijnanam Yajnaha. Yesham te Jnana Yajnaha. And those who are studying and understanding the meaning of the scriptures. So, this Swadhyaya Yajnaha, they have nothing to do. What is the meaning? They will go on firing. They'll remember, like you must have seen, many people use a few mantras, like Purusha Sukta. Whether it is a Puja Purusha Sukta, whether it is a Kanyadana Purusha Sukta, whether it is a Shraddha Purusha Sukta, whether it is Ganapati Puja Purusha Sukta, but it is still better than one Sindhi I have seen in USA. He was a Sindhi from Bombay. I don't know if I told you. And elderly man, Sindhis are very walking type people. They can somehow manage the things somewhere or the other. So, in that village in USA, there was nobody who knows about it. He said, I can do everything. And being from Bombay, he knew only one thing. Sukha karta, dukha harta, varta, vignachi. Only that. Any function, only this mantra he will chant. And when I went for the first time, and then he told, Swami, how do you like my puja? I said, excellent. I have never seen such a rare puja. Because for that, and all others are equally same. Ando me kana raja. So, jnana yajnaha, those who are studying the meaning of the scriptures. Yatayaha yatanashilaha. They are all putting lot of efforts. So, dravya yajna requires efforts. Yoga yajna requires efforts. Tapo yajna requires effort. Swadhyaya as well as jnana yajna. So, yatanashilaha, putting a lot of efforts. Then, samshita vrataha. Samshita vrata doesn't mean doubtful. Samyak shitani, tanukrutani, tikshni krutani, vratani esha. Those who are committed with complete involvement, and therefore all their vratas are extremely and strictly followed. So they will not compromise anything. The other day, somebody was doing this kind of vratam, Sakam Upasana, and I was to go and meet one person, and that person itself has given this particular thing to that lady. So that lady said, Swamiji, I will also come and meet Guruji. I said, no, you are not supposed to come. You are doing this Sakam Upasana. Yes. I said, then you be here. I will go and come back. No, I will come. I said, no, you cannot come. You ask him. So he phoned. He said, how dare you come? You cannot come now. You have to be in the house. You cannot go out. Now still 3 days are remaining. So nothing. Okay, then I will not come. See? Whenever there is any Sakam Upasana, there are strict rules and regulations. There is no compromise of any kind. Therefore, Samyak Shitani Tanukrutani Tikshni Krutani Vratani Yesham Te Samshita Vrataha. So such people who are too committed, dedicated with all efforts in the area of Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Yoga Yajna, and Swadhyaya Yajna, Dhyana Yajna. They are doing various kinds of yajnas. Now see, what is meant up to this point is only this thing. He is bombarding the word yajna in our head. See, the greatness of Bhagavad Gita is, words remain the same which were used in our Vedas. Bhagavad Gita is not Veda. So, yajna is a very popular word from the Vedic lore. Now, the same word is redefined and reused with the new definition and a new meaning by the Lord, so that we are able to apply this knowledge, bring it out of the Yajnashala and apply it in our day-to-day life. This is the greatness of Bhagavan Veda Vyasa. See? And this is the reason all the great masters are born in this world. Otherwise, what is the need to comment on Bhagavad Gita so many times? So many people have commented. But according to the necessity of a particular time, it is necessary that the same old words are restated, reinterpreted, so that the present generation is benefited. And this is what is done in this topic by using the word yajna. Continuing further, more yajnas. Apane juhati pranam. Prane panam tatha pare. Prana panagati ruddhva. Pranayama parayanaha. Now, apare, some other people, apane, apana vrutto, juvati, prakshipanti, pranaha. What is the prana? Prana vrittim purakakhyam pranayamam kurvanti ityartha. So they do the puraka kumbhaka. Take their inside, puraka, and hold inside. So this is one type of yajna some people do. You know, there are 3 types of kumbhakas. One is Puraka Kumbhaka, second is Rechaka Kumbhaka, and third is Kevala Kumbhaka. So these 3 Kumbhakas are mentioned as the Yajna. So, Apane Juvati Pranam, Apane Apana Vruttau, Juvati Prakshipanti. In the Apana Vrutti, Prana Vrittim Purakakhyam Pranayam Kurvanti Ityartaha. Now the second one is Prane apanam tatha apare juvati. So, rechakakhyam cha pranayamam kurvanti iti etat. So, some people are practicing the pranayam, giving importance to breathing in, and some are giving importance to the breathing out. 2 types of pranayams. And the third one, prana apana gati ruddhva. So pranapana gati, mukhanasikaabhyam vayoho nirgamanam pranasya gati. Mouth or nose, through that going out of the air, etc., is called as the movement of the prana. So mukhanasikaabhyam vayoho nirgamam pranasya gati, tad viparyena adhoganam apanasya. And when the air goes inside, then it is called as apana. So tad viparena adhogamanam apanasya te pranapana gati ete rudhva nirudhya. So what is prana? When the air goes out, it is called as prana, and when the air goes in, it is called as apana. Now these two kinds of movements of the air, rudhva nirudhya, having stopped, pranayama parayanaha. So pranayama tatparaha kumbhakakhyam pranayamam kurvanti ityartaha. So there are these kumbhaka experts, they are doing this pranayam, and by that they are attaining the purification. Now, after having said this, so in this there are three types of kumbhakas we have seen. This pranapanagati rudhva is the kevala kumbhaka, and purakakya kumbhaka one, where apana vayu is held inside, and then the prana vayu is thrown outside. It is the rechakakya or the breathing out kumbhaka. So these are the three types of practices some people do all the time. Further, apare niyataharaha pranan praneshu juhvati sarve pete yajna vidaha yajna kshapita kalmashaha. Apare niyataharaha. Others are having extreme control over their food habits. So niyataha parimita aharaha. Isham te niyataharaha. So they take only limited quantity of food. There are many vratas, like there is this, nobody does these days, on Pratipada, the first day of the fortnight, they will take maybe suppose one bite. But one bite doesn't mean so much big, only normal one bite. Then on Dvitiya, 2 bites, Tritiya, only 3 bites, and Purnima, 15 bites. Then again the dark fortnight begins, again then it is by 1, then again 14, then 13, 12, and again when you come to Amasya, that is nothing. This is called a niyataharaha. Some people have certain rules that they take food only once. Some people, they take only once, they don't take twice in the same thali. The other day I went to one Vedanta conference, and after all the Babajis are finished, then we sitting together. There was one Babaji. So I said, shall we start? Are we waiting for somebody or what? I am hungry. He said, yes, Swamiji. No, that Swamiji got some rule. I said, what is the rule? Unless he eats, we cannot eat? No, not like that. Then his rule is, he takes only once, he doesn't take twice. So he has to be given everything, therefore we are waiting. I said, anyway, you take quickly whatever you want. So something was given to him. And then he will not ask, I want more. But if you give more, he will reduce. So something was given, he was keeping quiet. That means he wants more. So again 2 things he put. And then he said, no, I don't want this thing. He removed that. So that is the vratam. And I found that is a good vratam. Otherwise, you can't control your food intake. People go on pouring the things. So, apare niyataharaha, some type of seekers, they practice control over intake of food. Niyatahara santaha. Pranan vayu bhedan praneshu eva jivati. So, means what? Yasya yasya vayoho jayaha kriyate itaran vayu bhedan tasmin tesmin jivati te tatra pravishtaha iva bhavanti. So here, this is all the yogic knowledge, which we do not know much about it. We need not go detail, but I'll tell you in short. See, there are these different pranas and upapranas. Now, pranas are prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. So what they do? The prana is merged in the apana is merged in the samana is merged in the vyana is merged in the udana, and then the udana takes you out of the limitations. This is how one vayu is merged into the next vayu. But don't try that. So, in this manner, tatra tatra pavishta bhavanti. Now, those who have conquered these various vayus or pranas, they have got many powers. Like, some Mahatmas, like Bhagwan Shankaracharya himself. So he told his disciples, now look after my body. I am going out of the body. And he entered the body of a king. So, how he has done that? Because he has conquered the Udana Vayu. Udana Vayu is responsible for taking us out of the body, and the Apana Vayu is responsible for us to get into the body. Now he who has conquered these two Vayus, two Pranas, he has freedom to get out of the body and come back to the body. This is how many Mahatmas have these powers. So this is what is meant here. Now, Sarve api ete yajnavidaha. So all of these are the experts in knowing the yajna. And what they are? Yajna kshapita kalmashaha. Yajnehi yathoktahi kshapitaha nashitaha kalmashaha yesham te yajna kshapita kalmashaha. So these are the one who have destroyed their kalmasha is the sin or the impurities by the yajna. So, these are the one who are knowing all the details about the respective yajna kshamita kalmasha. Means what? What is the purpose of doing the yajna? Now come to the main topic. Purpose of every yajna is purification. Now what is the worst kind of impurity that we have? Jiva bhava. So what will be the purification according to Jnana Yajna? Is Brahmagno apare yajnam yajnena upajuvati. The Jiva Bhava is surrendered and the Brahmatmaikya Bodha is born. That is the ultimate. Therefore, Yajna Kshavita Kalmashaha, by this Yajna they have purified themselves. Evam Yathoktam Yajna Nirvartya. In this manner, those who are practicing one or some of these yajnas mentioned in the earlier pages, yajna shishtamruta bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam nayam lokostya yajnasya kutonya kuru sattama. Yajna shishta amruta bhujaha. Yajnanam shishtam yajna shishtam. Yajna shishtam taccha amrutam. Cha yajna shishtamrutam yad bhunjate iti yajna shishtamruta bhujaha. See each and every word, why I am reading it in this manner. So you can catch how you have to read, understanding will take place. So each word, Yajna Shishtam is what? Yajnanam Shishtam means Yajna Shishtam, that which is left over after the Yajna is done is called as the Yajna Shishtam. What we call in our Puranic language as Prasad. We offer to the Lord and afterwards whatever comes back is called as Prasad. So when we are offering certain things in the Agni Kunda, and thereafter whatever is remaining which is not completely offered, that is called as Yajna Shishta. Now, yajna shishtam. Tacha amrutam. And that is called as the amrutam. That is called as the ambrosia. That is called as the nectar. Amrutam. Now, yajna shishtamrutam means what? Therefore, tad bhunjate iti yajna shishtamruta bhujo. So, those who are the consumers of the leftover from the yajna, which is called as the nectar, such people are called as yajna shishtamruta bhujaha. Therefore, our Sanskrit language is so compact. And once you know this, it is joy. So, yajna shishtamruta bhujaha. So, yathoktan yajnan krutva. So, those who have thus performed. Now tell me, who will be the yajna shishtamruta bhujaha? The one who has performed these yajnas. Without performing the yajna, you don't get anything. Therefore, yathoktan yajnan krutva tat shishtena bhunjate iti. So, after having performed the yajnas properly, and then whatever is left over, that is yatha vidhi choditam annam amrutakhyam bhunjate. At the right time, whatever is left over is taken as a prasad, annam, yatha vidhi choditam annam, according to whatever rules and regulation, what is accepted, amrutakhyam called as the nectar, bhunjati iti yajna shishtamruta bhujaha, yanti gachanti brahma sanatanam. They attain the immortal Brahman. Mumukshavaha chet. Now, if somebody is the seeker of truth, they don't want anything from this yajna karma. Mumukshavaha chet, then kala atikramaapekshaya iti samarthyat gamyate. Now, kala atikrama apekshaya. If they are the seekers of the truth, they do not want any result out of their karma, then what will happen? They will go to Brahmaloka. Te Brahmalokeshu para antakale paramrutat parimuchanti sarve. They will go to Brahmaloka. And there, every evening, Brahmaji has one satsang. And every day they have to attend the satsang. And when Brahmaji will be liberated, it's not a 2 years, no. My God, every evening satsang, yes. So when Brahmaji is liberated, then he is also liberated. This is called as mukshavaha chet kala atikrama apekshaya iti samarthyat gamyate. Now for such, this is called as krama mukti, liberation through stages. This krama mukti is an in-between stage. Because first of all, we consider ourselves to be body, there is nothing to talk about. Then we consider ourselves to be jiva, then we do papa, punya, go to this yoni, that yoni, swarga, narak, etc. And then we continue to be the jiva, but we want to know the truth. So here we are still in the relative realm, as if the truth is something other than us. And therefore, such jivas, seekers of the truth, they go to Brahmaji. And from one mouth you don't understand, never mind, I'll tell you from 4 mouths. Now you will understand. And then they have no choice. And thus, along with Brahmaji, they get liberated. This is the meaning. Now, na ayam lokaha asti ayajnasya. So, na ayam lokaha sarva prani sadharana api asti. Yathoktanam yajnanam ekaha api yajnaha yasya na asti. He who has not lived the life of yajna, at least one among the many mentioned here, for him, even in this world, no prosperity is possible. See? If we want to achieve anything in this world, we have to lead a life of commitment, a life of sincere involvement, a life of dedication to the goal. Then only something is possible. This is the meaning of yajna. So, na ayam lokaha asti yathoktanam yajnanam ekaha api yajna yasya nasti sa ayajnaha. He is called ayajnaha. Nayam loko asti ayajnasya kutaha anyaha vishishta sadhana sadhya kuru sattama. Hey Arjun, hey best among the Kauravas, hey Arjun, kutaha anyaha? What to talk about something better, superior, which is Vishishta Sadhana Sadhyaha, which is gained through some more specific requirement of yajna. Meaning what? Unless we are committed to anything, nothing else is possible. And that life of commitment is called as life of yajna. And now go further. Unless we are committed to Brahmajnanam, unless we are committed to know the truth, we will never become subjective in our understanding. We will continue to be objective in our understanding. And objectification of the subject is the first and the last obstacle. And therefore, here by the term yajna, all these points are mentioned together. Continuing this thought, evam bahuvida yajnaha vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhitan sarvan evam jnatva vimokshase. Evam yathokta. So evam means what? Whatever yajnas we have heard in the last few verses, yathokta as explained. Bahuvida, bahuprakara yajnaha vitata vistirna brahmanaha vedasya mukhe dvare. Thus Vedas speak about many times of yajnas. This is the meaning. So where from the yajnas come? They are given in the Vedas. You cannot have your own yajna. Because what yajna will give what kind of fruit is declared by the scriptures, and it cannot be the purview of any mortal. Therefore, our Vedas are called as the apaurushaya. They are not the creation of a human mind. That is why the rishis are called as rishayaha mantra drashtraraha. They get the vision of the various mantras along with the power hidden on those mantras. And then they tell, this is to be done in this manner, this will be the result. Therefore, all these various kinds of yajnas in the outer world or in the inner world, they are declared through the Vedas. Therefore, evam bahuvidha yajnaha vitada brahmano mukhe, and Vedadvarena avagamyamana brahmanaha mukhe vitita uchante. So Vedadvarena avagamyamana, because they are known only through the Vedas, not by any way. Therefore they are called as brahmana mukhe vitata uchante. Tat yatha vachihi pranam juhuma ityadayaha. Therefore it is said, we offer the prana in the speech. This is also said in the Vedas. Otherwise you can imagine, we are all here, sitting over here from the time immemorial, which are the stars, where they are, at what speed who is running, and which Rashi, who goes, and which zodiac sign and all that. Do you think that it is a human creation? No. This is all revealed to these great rishis in their contemplative state. Therefore, this is beyond the scope of the human intellect. Now, after having told this, karmajan vidhitan sarvan, this is very good explanation Bhagavan has given. Karmajan, kayi vachika manasa karmodbhavan tan vidhi sarvan. So understand, all these yajnas are born out of the activity of the body, speech and the mind. Therefore, anatmajan. Therefore, they belong to the matter and not to the absolute reality. Karmajan vidhitan sarvan anatmajan. Nirvyaparo hi atma. Meaning what? Where is all the yajna going on? It is not in the self. See? So who is the self? Akarta karmani akarmaya pashet akarmani cha karmaya sabuddhiman manusheshu Sayukta Krishna Karmakrut. See? So Tan Sarvan Anatmajan Vidhi. They belong to the Prakriti, the matter, and not to the self. Because Nirvyaparo hi Atma, the self, the Atma is Akarta, does not have any business. Ataha evam jnatva mokshase ashubhat. In this manner, recognizing yourself to be the non-doer, now see, come to the conclusion. In this manner, he who comes to this conclusion that he is not the doer, he alone is liberated from all the relativities where yajna, karma, karma phala, dharma, adharma, sin, merit, going to this heaven, that hell, everything is washed away. Evam jnatva vimokshase ashubhat na madvyaparaha ime nirvyaparaha. Aham na madvyaparaha ime. These are all not my business. Then aham nirvyaparaha. I am untouched, non-doer. Udasinaha iti. Evam jnatva. Thus having come to this experience that it is guna guneshu vartante. All the activities are going only in the Prakriti. Prakrute kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. So, all the activities belong to the Prakriti and not to me. See, in the 14th chapter, Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanu pashyati gunebhyascha param vetti madbhavam sodigacchati. He who knows that all the activities are belonging only to the three gunas and himself to be someone other than the gunas, saha madbhavam adhigacchati, he alone attains oneness with me in the 14th chapter. And therefore, here, this is the understanding. So, aham udasinaha iti evam jnatva asmat samyak darshanat. See, evam jnatva means asmat samyak darshanat. This is the ultimate vision. This is the ultimate understanding. Samyak darshanat mokshase samsara bandhanat ityarthaha. You are liberated from the bondage of samsara. Now, what is samsara? Samsara is not wife, husband, children, mother, father, and your neighbor. That is not samsara. Samsara is the relative existence. Relativity is samsara. And what is the beauty of relativity? There is no problem which has got any solution. That is relativity. So what is to be done? Don't try to solve any problem. They are like that. Go ahead. Charai veti. The more you try to solve the problem, you create more problems. Like the allopathy. So, now the topic is being concluded. Brahmarpanam ityadi shlokena samyak darshanasya yajnatvam sampaditam yajnyaha cha aneke upadishtaha taihi siddha purushartha prayojanaihi jnanam stuyate. Now, starting from the Brahmarpanam. Now, in this verse, what was established? Samyak darshanasya yajnatvam sampaditam. Correct understanding is called as yajna. Then I am ready to accept it. Because unless something is done, how can you progress spiritually? So, like in the material world, we progress. Earlier, I was in Jumritalaya, now I have come to Bombay. Progress. See? In the same manner, earlier I was like this, now I have become like this. So our understanding is, it is a progress in time, it is a progress in situation, it is a progress in gain. No, it is not. We are always Satchidananda Parabrahma Paramatma. Therefore, the spiritual gain is zero. You don't get anything. On the contrary, you lose everything. That is why people get frustrated. So, Samyak Darshanasya Yajnatvam Sampaditam Yajnaha cha Aneke Upadishtaha, and then many yajnas were explained. Now, Taihi Siddha Purushartha Prayojanaihi. Now, by all these yajnas, the Purushartha is established. Whatever is to be gained is gained. And in comparison to that, Jnanam Stujate. And now here, the Jnana Jajna is glorified. Therefore, Shreyan Dravyamaya Jajnat Jnana Yajna Parantapa Sarvam Karma Khilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. Sri Krishna Narayana Govinda. Now this is another beautiful topic which begins from this 33rd verse, where what is the meaning of the Jnana Yajna and why this is superior than all other yajnas. This is established in this 33rd verse. We'll take it in our next class. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.